Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have an exciting video for you guys. Last year I did best and worst of Boxycharm palettes of 2018. So this year we're doing best and worst of Boxy 2019. Everything, not just palettes, best and worst items from every single month. So this year I was organized. I kept all of my little cards. They're all in the order of the month. Very organized, very unlike me. I'm not an organized person. I'm a classic B-type personality, so this took a lot of effort. You're welcome. So this year, we're gonna go through each month and I'm gonna tell you my favorite product and my least favorite product. I do have a few honorable mentions. Some months were so good, it was really hard to pick just one item that really stuck out to me. Some months there was really a couple, or there was like a tie for first, or there was like a definite winner, but like, oh, this one was so close. So I do have a few honorable mentions. I am at the salon, as you can see. It's a very busy time of year. So I packed everything up in my little Boxycharm box here and brought the things with you so that I could show you each of the items. So I should also mention that most of these like best items, I picked them because there might be other things that I really loved in that box, but these are the things that I find myself still using a year later, 3 months later, 6 months later, that type of thing. So things that have really made their way into like staple category of my makeup collection or beauty collection. So that's how I sort of did things. I will also mention that everything that I didn't like, I have decluttered. So for all of the best items I have here to show you, all of the worst items have already been decluttered out of my collection. It's just how I operate. I don't like to keep a bunch of things on hand that I'm not using, so I hope you'll forgive me for not having those visual aids, but I did bring the favorite things and that's what matters. So the first month of the year was January 2019. Obviously, we know how calendars work, and the theme was boxy and chill. So my favorite item in the whole box that month, I used up. So I don't have it here to show you, but it was the Briogeo Don't Despair Repair Leave-In Moisture Mask. Loved that so much. It was just a deluxe travel size spray bottle. I loved that so much. I've actually gone through a couple of them since then. I haven't repurchased it because I do have some other things on hand that I'm using, but I will certainly buy that again in the future. I loved it, and it really, that was the product that opened my eyes to spray-in leave-in conditioners. Previous to that, I had only ever really liked like the cream style ones. Now I can't live without like a spray-in leave-in conditioner. So that really opened my eyes to a new world of hair products. My least favorite product from that month was the Starlooks Luxe Longwear Eye Pencil. We receive a lot of subpar eye pencils in Boxycharms. Unfortunately, I just don't even try them. I know right away, the Starlooks ones in particular, they're always the ones that are a bit shimmery and you go to put them on and nothing comes off on the eyes. So I just immediately declutter those so that I can give them to someone to be used. If I use it, then it's hard to pass an eyeliner on to someone else. So best of Boxy January 2019 was Briogeo Don't Despair Repair. So February 2019 was Afterglow month, and my favorite product was the Pharmacy Clean Bee Ultra Gentle Facial Cleanser. I also don't have that to show you because I used it up. I liked it so much that it's gone, and it was about this size, but they have a whole range of honey-based products, and we've received a couple in Boxycharm. I'm going to talk about another one in a little bit. I really liked that cleanser, and up until that cleanser, I thought, being an acne-prone, oily skin, the only cleansers that I trusted to use were foams, number one, and either geared towards acne, or they had like salicylic acid in them, or very much geared towards like an oily skin type. That cleanser, see, I learn a lot with Boxycharm. That cleanser opened my eyes to the fact that I don't need to always be using an acne preventing cleanser. It was really drying out my skin, and using a couple of other products to target the acne really works just as well as using a daily cleanser with like salicylic acid in it, something like that. So I really liked that Clean Bee Ultra Gentle Face Cleanser. That was definitely the winner for me for February. My least favorite of that month was the Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara. I was supremely disappointed in that one. I remember being so excited to try it because it was so many people's holy grail mascara, and I had never tried it. I had just heard about it. I hated it. I used it like twice, maybe 3 or 4 times, and every single time that I used it, I got like wicked raccoon eye underneath my eyes, and I was like, why? Why does anyone like this? I know it's a lot of people's favorite mascara. Don't come for me. It was not my favorite. Now, March was a BoxyLuxe month, so every 3rd month I receive BoxyLuxe instead of the traditional regular Boxycharm. So for BoxyLuxe in March, the theme was La Vie en Rose, and my favorite product was the IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Cream Transforming Moisture Super Cream. This is my 2nd jar of this. I know, I repurchased it. So I really like this. I'm not done this one. I'm still working on it. It's close, but I really enjoy this. I've recommended this to a lot of different people. I think this would work for just about every skin type. I love it. I use it at nighttime. I used it today underneath my sunscreen. I just love it. It's just a nice moisturizer. It has almost no scent whatsoever. Just smells, it smells like a facial. Like, it has that nice clean skincare scent. It's not too heavy, it's not too thin, it's just right in the middle. Love this so much. Definitely the star product for me. There was lots of other products that I really loved in that box, but this one in particular, obviously I've repurchased it. I really liked it a lot. The product that I liked the least from March 2019 was the Wander Beauty Lift Off Purifying and Brightening Peel Off Mask. Peel off masks in general, no, they're bad for your skin. 9 times out of 10, if you look at the ingredients on a peel off mask, usually the first ingredient is water, and usually the second ingredient is denatured alcohol. Denatured alcohol will basically just destroy your skin's barrier. So, and that's what makes it peel off like that. So that's why it's in there. So I did try that one time. It peeled off very aggressively. It left my skin very red. I broke out afterwards. I checked the ingredients after the fact and realized that it contained denatured alcohol. So I didn't even pass it along to someone else. I just threw it out. I personally wouldn't feel right passing that along to someone knowing that it's so bad for their skin. So I really don't recommend that one at all. It was my least favorite. April was Peace, Love, and Boxy. And you guys know that I love getting brushes in Boxycharm. So in April, we got this Luxie Summer Days brush set. These are dirty. I have like a clean cup and a dirty cup in my closet where I normally film. I had to pull these out of the dirty cup. They were kind of sitting there waiting to be washed. I love these brushes. They had the pink handle that fades to that sort of orangey bronze at the back. This one I love for contour. I use that sort of in this area and along my forehead. This one here is a great fluffy, it's like fluffy and flat at the same time. It's a really interesting shape. I love that one for packing and for the crease. And then this one here is like a flat shader brush. So I like this one for concealer, for like cleaning up, carving underneath the eyebrows. But I also really like this one for applying like a metallic shadow. So I'll pick up a lot on that brush and then I'll spray it with setting spray and sort of pat it onto the eyelid. It's very densely packed and it's very flat, if you can see. So I really, really like it for that. Love these brushes, use them all the time. I do have an honorable mention though for that month. I really enjoyed this Pure Festival palette. So this was, I think April must be when there's like Coachella and all those types of things. So I think that was sort of the idea behind this palette, but it smells like cupcakes. It looks like this. I've obviously used it. I don't love the pressed glitters. I just don't really use stuff like that very often. I prefer to use like a Stila, you know, like their liquid glitter shadows. I prefer something like that if I'm gonna do glitter. It's just less messy. but I did really love this palette. I have used it many times. I've brought it to use when I've done makeup applications for a photo shoot that I did. I actually brought this with me and used it on a couple of girls. So I really like it. I think the quality is very good, and I really enjoyed it a lot. It was definitely one that I used a lot, specifically in the summertime. Least favorite product from April 2019 was the Butter London Power Up Mascara. I have just decided that I'm not going to try mascaras out of Boxycharms anymore because I just have mascaras. I have a mascara that I love, and I just don't feel the need to try anything else. I just don't. I tried that one. I thought it applied really nicely. It did nice volumizing things to my lashes, but again, same as the Better Than Sex mascara, it transferred all underneath my eyes. It just looked a mess. To the point where I was like at the hairdresser's and she was like, "Your mascara." And I was like, right? So I'm done with all the testing of the mascaras. So that was my least favorite product from that month. May was Make Waves themed, and my favorite product that month was the Dose of Colors liquid lipstick, and I got the color Kiss of Fire. This was the first Dose of Colors liquid lipstick that I received in a Boxycharm, and it was my first time I had ever used one, so I really like this formula. I have, I think, 4 of them now. I've received a couple others in Boxycharms, and I've received a couple from friends. So I really like this formula. Very easy to wear, relatively comfortable for a matte liquid lipstick. Color payoff is beautiful. Love the applicator. I just love it. I love everything about it. So I really, really enjoyed that a lot. My least favorite product of that month was the Mellow Brow Definer. And the reason I chose that was because this was one of many brow products that I received this year that was not the right color for me. I think I've received at least 2 products specifically from that brand Mellow, and both of them were for brunettes, and I'm a blonde. So I had to add that as my least favorite because I received something I couldn't even use. Now, as a professional in the industry, I do have a professional makeup kit, so those things do land in my kit. However, I would generally purchase things that I know that I love for that kit as opposed to testing out something new that I've never tried on a client for, say, a photo shoot or prom or wedding makeup, something like that. So I did have to put that as my least favorite. It's not a big deal. It's definitely not like a high ticket item in the box, but I think everybody gets a little bit frustrated when we fill out the questionnaires, we do all of the things that Boxycharm tells us to do, and we still receive products that aren't the right color for us. I've been very fortunate in terms of complexion products and face palettes, things like that. I've always gotten my color, but when it comes to brows, I always seem to get the wrong shade for me. June was another Boxy Luxe month, and it was getaway themed. I have a couple of honorable mentions this time, but I had to give my favorite product to the Pharmacy Honeymoon Glow Serum. I love this stuff. I love it so, so much. This is an AHA resurfacing night serum. I use it probably every other night or so. I found that it helps with my breakouts, it helps with fine lines, it helps with texture. It does so many things, and I had previously been using an AHA cleanser once a week, so it's been really nice to add something to use sort of in between using that cleanser. I love this product. As I mentioned before, I really like the honey products that Pharmacy makes, so I really like this. I would say I've got it about half gone at this point, and I would definitely consider repurchasing this when it's all done. Honorable mentions had to go to the Tarteist Pro Glow Cheek Palette Volume 3. I love this thing. I use it all the time. The bronzers are good colors for me. The highlighters, the blushes, they work really, really well. The highlights in here make your cheeks look wet. They are so glowy. I love this a lot. I had to give it to the Honeymoon Glow Serum because I do use this every single week. This, obviously, because I have a lot of cheek products, doesn't get used quite as often, but I do really love this, and I had to mention it. I had to actually go get this out of my purse. So the other honorable mention goes to the lip gloss from Dominique Cosmetics. This was the Lemonade lip gloss, and I got the color Peach Tea. This lives in my purse. You know when it's your favorite lip gloss because it lives in your purse and it never leaves. This is the one, it lives in my purse, it goes with everything. It goes over top of lipstick well, it goes over top of a lip liner really well, it applies great by itself. It's the type of color you can put it on without looking. Love it, it's not sticky, it feels hydrating, the color's really good for me. I do really, really like this, and I wear it every day. Least favorite product from June 2019 was the Trustique Good Vibes Mascara. Again, I'm not going to keep saying the same thing about mascaras. They all have done the same thing on me. They transfer underneath the eyes. Not for me. Moving on. July was Au Naturel month. Boxycharm. So my favorite product that month was the Elemis Superfood Vital Veggie Mask. I love this. This is a great mask. I think this would work on just about every skin type. I have done little facial nights with one of my girlfriends while she's come over for cocktails, and we've decided to give ourselves facials. And this mask works as well on my oily, acne-prone skin as it works on her dry skin. So I think this is good for everybody. It feels nice. Your complexion is more clear. The tone of your skin is more clear when you remove it. It's not the type of mask where you're really red afterwards. It feels hydrating, nourishing, smoothing. It looks brighter when you take it off. I just love this. This is a great product. Elemis is a really nice brand, and they are cruelty-free, which is really great because it's a little bit hit or miss with skincare. Really with any product with Boxycharm, there's no guarantees that you're going to get cruelty-free products, but it's great when you do, especially when it's skincare. So I was really, really happy to receive this, and I use it all the time. I do have a lot of masks at home. I'm an esthetician. I have a lot of masks on hand, but I do use this one quite often in comparison to the other masks that I have. Least favorite product. If you guys had this card in front of you, I bet you could guess what I would say. It was the Kojin Dough Spa Cleansing Water Cloths. I went off in that video. It was $17 for 10 cloths, and I just couldn't. I cannot. I generally don't use makeup cleansing cloths anyways. I find them to be very wasteful. I'm trying to reduce my carbon footprint in terms of things like that. And $17 for 10 cloths, I just would never ever pay that. I did take them with me when I was traveling. They did work fine. I found them to be a little bit dry, but they did do the trick. But I certainly wouldn't repurchase them, and I was not excited to receive them, if that makes sense. August was totally boxy month. And my favorite product, I've talked about this I think a couple of times, was the Glow Ahead Illuminating Face Oil. I love this stuff. It's been very hit or miss for me in terms of primers. When it comes to Boxycharm, a lot of the ones that we receive are pore filling primers, which just isn't something that I need and does typically tend to break me out a bit. So I really like this one. I use it very often, especially this time of year now that my skin's a little bit more on the dry side. I always have oily skin, but in the winter I would lean more towards combination, whereas in the summer I would be fully oily. I do like this. It doesn't make me more oily, which I was surprised because it is an illuminating face oil. I assumed that my foundation was going to break apart, especially around my nose, in between the brows where I tend to be the oiliest, and it doesn't. It just really hydrates, adds a little bit of a glow or a luminosity to the skin, and my makeup lays really nice over top of it. So I love this. I use it all the time. Honorable mention has to go to the Becca Hydra Mist and Refresh Powder. I'm almost done this. It's all I've been using since August, and it has lasted me a good long while. I'm almost out of it now, but I really enjoy this. It feels really nice on the skin. It really blurs the pores, the lines, any imperfections that you have in your skin. This really blurs that. It is a $39 powder, so I hate that I love it. I think that's why I didn't rank it in first place, because I want to repurchase this, but I don't want to spend $39 on a powder. That just seems excessive to me, but I am really enjoying it, and I will enjoy it until it's gone. My least favorite product, there's a theme happening, okay? My least favorite product from the Totally Boxy month was the Tarte Big Ego Mascara, and that was the one that came in the bright pink tube. However, One of my best friends, she gets Boxy as well. She received that mascara and loved it. So I just gave her mine and she was thrilled. So everybody wins. Now, September was Boxy Luxe month. They always do it for my birthday, so thoughtful. And it was all access month. So my favorite product in that month was the Violet Voss Essentials palette. I love this. I feel like so many people were like not that excited to receive this. I love this. There was like at least 1 week that went by that all I used was this palette. It is a very high quality palette. The shadows in here blend beautifully. They have great color payoff. This is a very like easy palette. I find Violet Voss shadows to be that way in general. Just easy to work with, no fuss, no muss. Works great, a wonderful variety of colors, particularly this like dusty pink is such a great transition color for my skin tone. I love this so much. I may even travel with this for my trip coming up in 2020. Honorable mention though has to go to the IGK Mistress Hydrating Hair Balm. I'm really liking this. I did just open it about a month ago. I was working through some things that I already had open, so I have since started using this and I do really like it. It's a really nice leave-in conditioner balm. I've been using this in conjunction with like a spray-in leave-in conditioner, so I'll kind of spray my hair with the leave-in conditioner before I brush it out with my wet brush, put some of this in there, and then I just put some oil in the ends of my hair where it tends to be dry. And I've noticed a really big difference in the texture of my hair since I started using more hydrating products, less styling products, if that makes sense. So I'm really enjoying this. IGK is a brand that's really on my radar to try more from them. Loving this, and I also am loving the dry shampoo that we received in this month's Boxycharm. So loving that so far. Honorable mention. My least favorite was the Glow Recipe Pineapple Sea Bright Serum. That product, it was so disappointing because I love getting skincare in a Boxycharm, and so far I've done pretty good in terms of skincare. I haven't had a lot of products that I've had to declutter, but that pineapple serum broke me out so bad. I tried it. At first I thought I really liked it. At first I was like, yeah, this is doing great things for my skin. Feels great, looks great, love a vitamin C. And then I started getting these breakouts here on my cheeks. Generally when I break out with my acne, it's all here and like maybe a little bit on the sides of my mouth, but not up here on the apples of my cheeks. That's a very sensitive part of my face, so I found it to be very odd. It was like little white heads all over. So I stopped using it for a period of time. My skin kind of cleared up, and then I reintroduced it to my skincare regime, and the same thing happened. So I was like, okay, we've definitely found the culprit. However, I have a client whose daughter receives Boxycharm, and basically whatever skincare her daughter gets in Boxycharm, she gives to her mother, and she keeps the makeup. So this client of mine was like, oh, I love that serum. It's great. I use it every day. I'm running through it so fast. And I was like, oh, well, here. So I gave it to her. So I was happy that it's not being wasted because it is a nice product. It was valued at $49. You definitely don't want something like that to go to waste. So I was happy to pass it along to her, but it definitely was not for me. October's Boxycharm, the theme was After Dark, and my favorite product that month was the Dose of Colors Sassy Siennas palette. Now, I did mention in that video that I was hoping I was going to get a different color scheme than this. However, I love this. I use it all the time. It would have been nice to get different colors only because I do already have a lot of these sort of warm toned neutrals, but the quality of this is amazing. They're super blendable. Again, it's sort of like the Violet Voss formula, just easy to work with, no muss, no fuss. You put it on, it blends out, you don't get a lot of fallout. I really like this. So I'd be interested to try more from Dose of Colors in terms of eyeshadows. So far, all I've tried from Dose of Colors is this and their liquid lipsticks. So I would be interested in trying maybe more of their eyeshadow formulas, but I really, really love this. Very easy to work with. I'm really, really enjoying it. And my least favorite product I actually have with me, and it's the Mellow Tinted Brow Gel. And again, this had to make it as my least favorite product because it is in the color dark brown. I realize that I wear my brows darker than my natural hair color, but I still don't use a dark brown in them. It would just be much too dark. So this has not been opened. I pulled it out of my makeup kit that I use on clients just to show you guys. But again, just a little bit frustrating when you receive products that are not the right color for you, especially when you've filled out all the appropriate questionnaires and stuff like that. So, you know, again, not a big deal. It wasn't a high ticket item. These are always like a little bit like a filler item that Boxy puts in there. So not a huge deal, but definitely had to be my least favorite because I can't use it on myself. November's box was the Boxy Stellar. And in that month, my favorite product was this. This is the Juice Beauty Stem Cellular Anti-Wrinkle Eye Treatment. I really like this. I actually like bumped out the eye cream that I was using currently for this, and I really like it. Feels nice. It's got this really unique applicator on it that's really interesting. I actually don't use that on my eye because I find it pulls a little bit, so I just put a little on my finger and tap it on. But I really, really like this. And again, I love getting skincare in Boxy, and this is a $50 eye cream. For me, that's like a real bonus to get something like that. And I have mentioned in previous videos that Juice Beauty is another brand that's on my radar to try more from. I tried a moisturizer from them in another Boxycharm, and I really liked it. I'm really liking this eye cream, and I just picked up their SPF, so I'm excited to try that as well. And my least favorite product from that box was this. This is the Illuminati Cosmetic Sponge. I mentioned in that video that I wasn't like super jazzed to get a cosmetic sponge. I generally use a brush to apply my foundation. It's just the way that I prefer to do it. It feels more sanitary to me. I have multiples of my foundation brushes, so I can rotate them through as they need to be cleaned and stuff like that. So I will eventually try this, but I forgot I owned it until I started going through all of my little cards to pick out the products that I wanted to talk about. So clearly I was not that excited about it. It's still in the packaging, never been used. It's not even been dampened yet. So it's a sponge. I don't know. Not something I'm looking to receive in a Boxycharm. And lastly, the most recent box was another Boxy Luxe, and the theme for the month was Boxycharm Whimsy. Now, this was a little bit harder because it's only been about a week and a half since I received these products. So I have two things to say. Number one, this was the best Boxycharm of the entire year because reading through this list, I can't pick a least favorite. I like them all. There was not one thing in this box that I would have preferred to have something else, came in the wrong color, was something I wouldn't use. Everything in here was something I was excited about. So there is no worst of Boxycharm December 2019. And I've actually heard a few other people say the same thing. So they really knocked it out of the park with the December Boxy Luxe. Now, I did bring a few products that I'm really loving. I haven't had a chance to try everything yet, right? Because some things were, like I didn't open the cleanser yet because I'm already working on a cleanser. I don't want to say like I loved the moisturizer the best because I can't tell yet. It's only been a week and a half, you know? I rather not jump the gun in terms of skincare. However, I will mention that the QMS lip line corrector, I was very excited to receive this. This was a $200 item. 200 doll hairs? Are you kidding me? I was so excited. I could not believe that we got this. So for the price tag alone, I was so excited. I have been using it. I haven't noticed a difference yet. It's only been a week and a half. Generally with skincare, you want to give it like 12 weeks before you start really noticing a difference. So I'm not going to blow smoke up your asses and tell you that this changed my life because I don't know. It's too soon. But I was very excited to get it, and I'm going to give it the old college try and use it every single day so that I can let you guys know in 12 weeks or so if it's worth $200. I don't know, but I was very excited. I have had a chance, however, to use a couple of things that I really, really love. So I know this is so stupid, but I love this. This is the hair towel that we received. This is the Daily Concept Daily Hair Towel. I've used this a couple of times already. I love it. It stays on my head really nice. It's a nice dark color, so it's not gonna look all gross after a while. Love that so much. Just such a useful item to receive in a Boxycharm, you know? I don't know if everybody would feel that way, but I was really excited about this. The other thing that I have had a chance to try out was the palette from Storybook Cosmetics. This is so beautiful. I love it. I've used it a couple of times. I created a really fun look using the blues and this sort of like mauvey color down there. Make sure you're following me on Instagram if you want to see makeup looks. I do try to post at least a couple makeup of the day photos on Instagram every week, so all of my social handles will be in the description down below, but I really like this palette. I think the quality is very good. I think the color selection is really great for me in particular. It's very much in my wheelhouse of colors that I love, so I do really love this despite the bulky packaging. It looks like a collector's item. It's so beautiful, so I definitely really like it, but it was really hard to pick a favorite out of a month of favorites, you know? That's it. That's 12 months of Boxy run down in however long this video is. I hope it's not too long. I'm going to try to edit it down to a sensible length of time, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. I thought it was kind of a cool idea. You see a lot of people doing best and worst of 2019 for different categories this time of year. I'm not somebody that runs out and buys stuff from every launch all year long, so I don't feel really qualified to do like a best foundation of 2019 because I've only used like 2 foundations in 2019. So I rather do something like this that I think I can give you a good idea. I hope you guys like this. I thought it was a cool idea. Give you guys a little bit of a rundown on the products from start to finish, which are things that I've loved. I know in the videos I always seem very excited. Sometimes as you have a chance to use things for a while, you decide, you know what, I love this more than I thought I did, or you know what, I really don't like that at all, or it didn't work for my skin, or it wasn't the right color. So I thought it'd be interesting to kind of run it all down and look at it on the whole. And on the whole, when I was going through the cards and picking out my favorites and making notes and stuff like that, I really kind of realized, you know what, there are way more wins than there are losses in terms of Boxycharm. So I really feel that it's a great bang for your buck. This is not sponsored. Boxycharm doesn't know who I am. But I do really love receiving the box every month, and this just kind of verified that it is sort of worth my money, and I'm getting a lot of bang for my buck. So I thought this was kind of a fun idea. Please leave me some comments down below letting me know what your favorite and least favorite products were from Boxycharm in 2019. You don't have to do every month, but if you have a couple of standout products that you loved or a couple of standout products that you really didn't like, I'd love to hear from you guys down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!